I'm a baker. When I've asked what my favorite pie is, I reply with strawberry rhubarb. Now, this can be met with disagreement or complaints of I can't get it to cook right. I believe with some simple tips and steps, anyone can make a delicious strawberry rhubarb pie. Today I'm going to talk about 3 steps that help you get there. The first is gathering the ingredients. The second, preparing the ingredients and the pie. And third, baking the pie correctly. For the first step, we're going to gather our ingredients. The Food Network recommends picking out 1 to 3 stalks of firm, bright red rhubarb, a flat of strawberries. We need 4 cups total of combined fruits. So 1 to 3 stalks of rhubarb and 2 cups worth of sliced strawberries, a cup of sugar, and 1/3 of a cup of flour. I actually have a rhubarb plant in my garden, which came from my grandparents' house, and so there's a little bit of sentimental value attached there. Now, the second part is picking out a pie crust. You want a buttery, salty flavor profile according to Bon Appetit. Now, I don't actually usually make my own pie crust. I have found frozen substitutes that really do the job well and match what I can create. So my personal favorite right now is actually a simple frozen Kroger pie crust from Fred Meyer. Now the second step is preparing the pie. You want to wash and slice your fruits and vegetables. Better Homes and Garden suggests bite-sized rounds about 1/4 of an inch thick. You want to do the same thing for the strawberries. Now, one thing is, on rhubarb, the stalks can sometimes be longer on one end. Just cut those rounds in half to get the same size as the small ones. Strawberries, you can do this too. It's not as important. And then mix it with your flour and your sugar. Combine. And then put it into the pie crust. Now, I've been using this recipe forever. We have a battered old photocopy that my sister has battered old photocopies of as well. And it's pretty simple ingredients, but they've always turned out well. And I don't feel the need to really do anything extra because the results have always been positive. Now, the second part of this is putting on a top crust. You want to add a top crust per the Pie and Pastry Bible to allow the thickening of the filling. I've actually made a rhubarb pie, without a top crust, and it can be kind of a weird texture on the top because of how the rhubarb is, and we don't want that. And you're also going to want to cut a couple pie vents in there to let steam escape and not make the top crust soggy. I use a little circle in the center so I can check the rhubarb later. Now I've talked about gathering the ingredients and preparing the ingredients. Now the third and final step, baking the pie. The Oklahoman recommends placing a cookie sheet on the bottom rack of the oven while you cook your pie on the center rack. This allows for the bottom pie crust to cook evenly. I add a little tin foil to that so that it also catches like when it bubbles over. And then your oven won't smell like burning sugar for 2 weeks. The next part is baking the pie for 60 to 90 minutes. Better Homes and Gardens recommends that range so you get fully cooked rhubarb. And Bon Appetit actually says what you want to look for with that rhubarb is fork tender, translucent to semi-translucent pieces. And that's why I like that little circle for the steam vent, so that you can check the rhubarb and actually look at it without destroying the top crust. You don't really have to worry about the strawberries because they cook faster. In conclusion, anyone can make a delicious strawberry rhubarb pie. Your first step is gathering the ingredients. Get it from your garden if you can. Second, preparing the pie. Remember to cut those pieces evenly. The third, baking the pie. You don't want to hit anything firm in the rhubarb. Cook it longer. Now, I've made this for someone who insisted they hated rhubarb and they actually wanted leftovers. So anyone can make a delicious strawberry rhubarb pie and turn a believer out of a non-believer.